We're here today with another Above the Bar interview, and today we are actually doing the Teacher of the Year edition of Above the Bar from San Cayetano. So today we have Miss Iliana Magallanes, and she is here to tell us a little bit about herself first. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, so good afternoon. My name is Iliana Magallanes. I teach third grade at San Cayetano. And a little bit about myself, I've been in the district for 10 years now. I love it here. I actually started as a playground monitor while I was going to school. And then I became a math interventionist. I love math. So then that changed to reading interventions, and I did that for a couple of years. And now I've been teaching for 8 years. So, like I said, I love it here. I love teaching. And I started from the playground. It's crazy.
Yeah. So you've been with us now. You said 10 years.
Yes.
So in that time you've had different positions and now all the way to Teacher of the Year, which congratulations for
Thank
being
you.
Teacher of the Year for San Cayetano. So in all of those years, what has been one of the most positive things other than being Teacher of the Year, which I'm sure is a great honor, a highlight for you?
So a highlight for me is it's always that every year I get to, like, the kids that I work with, I get to, how can I say it? I'm looking for the word. I make an impact in their lives that I know they will have forever. And since it's a positive one, that's what makes me very proud and very happy, because I know that child will remember something positive from his whole schooling, right?
Yeah.
So I always try to do that with every single one of my students so that they can leave my class with that in their minds, like, oh, but Miss M said this, or she said I could do this. So just impacting them in that positive way, I think that's the what always stands out. And like I said, I know it stands out because if I see one of my past students, like, they'll act like if they haven't seen me in forever, even if they just saw me yesterday. So it's like I know I'm making those positive impacts with them. And yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So your first students are now in high school. Is that
Yes, I feel so old.
kind of even, well,
Yeah.
you're obviously not old, but how is that feeling now, knowing that you've been now doing it for a while and your students are now in high school?
Well, I love it, but it like I said, I feel old and I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're in high school. But I do see some of them, like I'll see them out in the community, like at the gym, or I'll see them because I also coach. So when we're practicing at the high school, like they'll be like, Miss M, and I'm like, hi, like you're so big. But like I said, just that the positive attitude, like they smile, they're happy to see me, I'm happy to see them. It's just a great relationship that I get to build with each one of them.
And that's an important part of our district is the relationships. So
Hmm.
how do you go about, especially with third grade, because they're so young, how do you go about building that relationship with them to build that trust, because they're really young and they're really excited usually about learning, but how do you go about building that trust with them?
Well, I try to get to know them as much as I can. I get to know their interests, their dislikes, their likes, like what they do outside of school. I know a bunch of them get very happy when I ask them, like, how'd your soccer game go last night? Like just being a part of their family, kind of like being interacting with them in that way. And then also with the parents, like them knowing that I see their children as my own children. So I mean, if how can I say it? Like if my child was in my classroom, I know they would be okay, and that's what I try to let my parents know. Like your child is safe with me, like loved, cared for, and they will learn to the best of their abilities.
Yeah, well, which is expected. I know that you have a lot of high expectations for your students, so
Yes.
you've been very successful. So with the parents, going back to the parents, how difficult has it been now that we've been in this different way of teaching and learning? to develop those relationships?
So it's been difficult. It's been very different. A lot of parents are frustrated, and I completely understand. And that's what I try to let them know. Like, it's okay to feel the way you feel. Like, we actually all feel the same way. But like I said, again, we're here to do the best that we can to help you in any way that we can. So just letting them know. I think once I got to speak with every single one of them at least once, now they have that mentality like, okay, like they're also feeling overwhelmed. They're also just trying their best, you know? So I feel after that, it's been easier to get in touch with them. We also have different ways because not all of them are tech savvy either. So we had to maybe a phone call or an email if it's not through Google Classroom. Like, it doesn't have to be through here. You can reach me in the front office if you don't want to call me directly. Like, just telling them the different ways that we can get in touch without it being a feeling like it's difficult, you know, like a challenge. So it has been different, but we're getting there.
So you're going to be teaching some of the students in the hybrid starting on October 12th. So are you excited to kind of see some of these students in
Yes,
person?
I'm super excited. And I know they are too. Like, when we have our whole class Google Meets, they've been counting down the days since we even had a day. So I'm like, okay, guys. But I know that they're super excited. I'm very excited as well, and I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah.
Hoping
So
for the
yeah, I'm sure that we're all looking forward to
best.
kind of getting back to some type of normal. But on a different note, I wanted to ask you a question about some of the things that you do to prepare for being a teacher. So I know you were part of Teachers in Industry.
Yes.
So what is the Teachers of Industry, and how has that helped you in the classroom?
So Teachers in Industry is a STEAM program, which it helps us it gives us other ways to teach our students, to show them what's out there. So it's more like hands-on jobs for them so that they know, okay, maybe I'm not a really good reader, but I know I can work with this, like with my hands, with my brain, you know, like there's other things for you. Because a lot of kids feel like, oh, I can't read, like I'm never going to do anything in life. And it's like, no, there's so many things you can do. Of course, reading is very important, and math and those core subjects, but there's something for everyone. Like, there's something for everyone. They don't need to feel like they won't accomplish anything just because they didn't do very well in school, you know? So through that program, I would take some classes at the U of A, and I would also work hands-on at the mine here in Green Valley. So it was a lot of fun. When I got back into the classroom, I got to bring my kids some copper coins, and I told them how the copper was made, all the process, and all the different jobs they have there. Like, and they were all just, some of them didn't even know we had that here, you know? So it was a nice way to let them know like what's out there. And for us as teachers too, to know that there's many things that we can do. And it's also credits towards my master's degree. So that was a lot of fun too. It's a great program.
Well, good, and I'm glad that I know that you were one of the teachers selected for that to participate in that. So that was another recognition of all the hard work that you do to bring that back. So talking about how you help students, but how do you go about helping other teachers? Is there recommendations you have for them as they're being frustrated too? Since you are a teacher of the year, you know, I'm sure some people look at you as, you know, that you are doing a great job. So do you have recommendations for them to help them in the classroom?
So my coworkers know that they can come to me whenever they can, and if I don't know the answer, I'll help them find the answer. So that's something very important as a leader. Like, they need to know that you're there to help them and not judge them in any way. So I have spoken with almost all of them about the whole situation, and from me, my advice is for them to just, you know, be patient, take it as it comes. Like, if there's some things that we can't control, and if as long as we try our best and we keep doing what we're doing and keeping that passion for what we do, I mean, that should be more than enough. So just, and also like building those connections with their students, even though they're not here physically, those connections are very important. And that's how they will learn from you. If they don't know you care about them, they will not do anything for you.
And that goes back to your relationships. I think that's so you have relationships with the families, your coworkers, and I think that's an important part of what we do in our district, is have those relationships. So I know I asked you what highlight was separate from Teacher of the Year, but I want to go back to Teacher of the Year. So how did you feel when you found out you were named Teacher of the Year for San Cayetano?
Well, the first time or the second time? I know the first time I was like, what? Like I was so excited and humbled, and like just overall just it was great. Like I wasn't expecting it. And then the second time I really wasn't expecting it. I mean, I don't know. I I don't know. I see. I still get teary eyed. It's just it feels really good to know that you're making an impact in your community with your students, with your parents, with everyone. And just that dedication and that love for what you do it stood out. And I'm not saying other teachers aren't, but it's just, you stand out somehow, and it feels really good. And I was actually telling my friend that that was one of my goals, like as a teacher. When I became a teacher, I was like, oh, I hope one year like I could be Teacher of the Year, but I was expecting like years from now, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I got it already. It's nice. And now to set new goals. So
yeah. So what are the new goals now? So now that you've reached that, what's the next step?
So my new goal is at some point I would like to finish my master's and work with special education, and then make impacts up there, see what I can do on that side of our district. But that's something that has been on the top of my head, and hopefully it'll happen in a couple of years. We'll see.
Well, I'm sure whatever you set your mind to, you'll be able to do. So a great example for our district. So are you from our area? Have you grown up in this area, or how did you come about? So,
yes, I was actually born and raised in Nogales, but my first teaching job with a school was with Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District, and then I just stayed here.
Well, we're glad that you
Me too.
Our team. So, but knowing that our community and being from the community, what advice do you have when you see those high school students to go on and do things? Do you have advice for them that you've been able to take from other people in our community? Because when we do a lot of these interviews, we're doing alumni interviews, and we encourage our students to go and try new things, and then hopefully come back, kind of like what you've done as far as being part of our community and contributing back. Do you have advice for those high school students on how to go and do things and accomplish kind of what you've been able to do?
Yeah, so my advice to them is to always follow their dreams. Like, just do it. There's many things that we'll try to like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that, or oh, maybe it's not meant for me. But no, like keep trying. Maybe it's not the first time, maybe you won't get it the first time, but try again, maybe the third, fourth time. Like, it's fine to fail as long as you try again and don't just give up right away. So always be willing to fail, learn from your mistakes, and just never stop dreaming. Just go for it.
Well, thank you very much for spending some time with us today. We appreciate it. Congratulations again on being the San Cayetano Teacher of the Year. And we're, again, very thankful that you're part of our team. So another above the bar Teacher of the Year. So thank you.